Alright, welcome to the Retirement Railroad. Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and today we got a PB. No, that's not jutting to the John. We have to paint people. Union Station's going to take a lot of people between the platforms, the Great Hall, outside, people walking to and from the station. It's literally going to be hundreds of people. Now, I just got in a batch of 100 of the cheap Chinese painted people, and normally they're painted well enough to be background people, but this batch was simply terrible. Okay? And I'll show you what I'm talking about. I put a few of them here in my hand, and just let you take a look at the lack of craftsmanship. How's that for a way of putting it? All right, let me switch the camera around, and we'll take a look. Here we are, and as you can see, they're just terrible. So I've got 10 or 15 different colors out here, and I'm just going to set up an assembly line. As an example, start with the blacks, do hair and shoes, ties, jackets, things like that. And we'll work through all 100 of these and get some acceptable background people. All right, so stay tuned. I've gone through and painted most of them. I still have to finish up a few with some different colors. Some black on the businessmen for suits, as an example, shoes, hair. I also need to add some red, yellow, green for some of the ladies' shoes and dresses, and the ties on the men, etc. So let me go ahead and get those wrapped up, and we can go put them on the layout. All 100, totally painted, 13 different colors used. Numerous combinations on the numerous different poses, so there should not be any two that are identical. Okay. But the last step in the process is taking and giving each one a black wash. Now this is a watered down acrylic India ink that I use for black wash. A lot of people use the Tamiya panel liner, aka taco sauce. This is my version of taco sauce. So, and simply dip it in. And what the wash does is it highlights any details. All right. Creases. Just adds a little bit of detail to it, a shadow effect, if you will. And for background people, you're not gonna see too much, but it also takes away a little bit of the glare, the plastic, and some of the paints maybe a gloss. So now that all the people are painted and given their wash, it's time to start putting them on the layout. I say that, right as my tube of super glue runs out. Shit. Okay, well, I've dug through my drawer of stuff and dug out some different people. Now, I've had these. No, I got these with Caboose Hobbies, and these are what these here. Both of these I got Caboose Stop Hobbies, and are what I would call the higher detail or painted figures. All right, what you typically pay $15-20 for. Notice I didn't pay that for these. Okay. So that's your higher grade stuff. Now these are from Eve Model, and these are train crew people. All right, and there's different colors, but they only have 3 colors per person: flesh, black for the shoes, and whatever they're wearing. So I will have to go in and repaint these. Okay. But they're decent detail. Of course, I got my mini prints one. I've shown on a live stream before. These are high detail, unpainted, so I got to paint these. Now in here, these are what I'll call better detailed Chinese figures. Okay. These are the ones you get about 40 for $15. And there's typically at least 4, if not more, colors for these. And although the colors aren't great, they aren't that bad either. Okay. And you know, the men will have ties on, etc. So these are pretty good. And these will go on the layout as is. And they can go up front, all right, or medium way in the back. I'm not afraid to show these, but they do need to be weathered, put through black wash. Okay, we'll set those over there. These are the medium grade ones, and it's not that the molding's bad. It's just that the colors are, and they're fairly well painted, but the colors are real bright, and to make them stick out, I guess. And you know, we're dealing with Chicago, so I'll pick out the business-looking ones and paint them up to match better. But they all still have to go through a wash because they're real bright. Of course, here's a pack of sitting people, and they're, you know, medium to low grade Chinese figures. And these are typically what go in passenger cars. Okay? And finally, I've got what I've already worked on in the past. I got some more seated figures that were left over from the passenger car project that still need to put some more in. And then I've got the black washed ones over here that are ready to go. So I'm going to pull these out and put them over here, and I'll combine those with the other seated passengers, put them all in one bag after they've been washed. These will wait, and they're ready to go as is for the layout. Okay. So I'm going to wash these up, and so to speak, which means dirty them up, and we'll get right back to it. All right, while all these are drying up, we still need to weather the platforms at Union Station. So let's get that done so that we can add these people down to the platforms. All right, hang tight. So this is the north end platforms here, and what we're going to do is we're going to put first a black wash on the platforms, and then we'll top coat that with a brown wash, much like we did for Van Buren Street. The way I do that is simply the wash, and then I will apply it with a sponge, okay, and making sure to wipe it down either with a blank sponge or with a paper towel, all right, so that it doesn't get too dark on us. All right, so and keep in mind these are foam, so I can't rub down too awful hard like I did at Van Buren Street, because Van Buren Street was smoother. Okay. All right, now time for a light brown wash. All right, so now we have the washes on. We have people painted. We have people washed as well, and to highlight the wrinkles and so forth. And now they're on the layout. Now that's 150 people between the two platforms, and I have 300 more on order for in and around Union Station, and some more to be on the platforms here. So let's put her all back together and see what it looks like. So what you see now is I've come in and I've put down the Smooth It right here. Yesterday I did this section around to here to here, and got it down. Did some preliminary evening out, and again I use the dental pick, and I also have a piece of styrene that I have cut and made into a mold, so to speak, where it's like an NMRA gauge that will fit down in over the rails, and will, as I run it down through, it'll scrape off or pull up, move, level out the interior and just to either sides of the rails, plus allow for the flangeway. Okay, that's after the Smooth It's had a time to begin to set up and stiffen a little bit. Invaluable. All right, easy to make. You just take a piece of track and cut it and file it the way you want it. So anyway, so it's in. Today, this was done yesterday. This morning I went and I did the rest down here and here. Okay, just got done with that and did the preliminary, and again used the dental pick to come through and either scrape and level some of the waves, etc., out, and clean up the flangeways, maybe a little bit more with it. And so I'm done to about here. I still have a little bit more to do over here and down to here, but I can't do that until I get some railings like I have over here for this other side, and they're on order. Just waiting for them to get here. So once that's done, I can finish up the smoothing. Now you notice I've used green foam for the sidewalks. All right. And I did it because it's easy, it's cheap, I had some available. All right. And what I found, and previously I've used styrene, I've used wood, etc. Actually, this styrofoam is probably the best of what I've used, and I just started using it when I did the platforms down below. And as I added the people down here on the platform, you know, it's hard when you're gluing them down, it's hard to get the people to stick, right? And wait for the glue to set up so they stand, they keep falling over and stuff. Well, using the foam, you can actually press down, not gently, not hard, but firmly, to make an indentation that helps hold them up. And it worked out great. So therefore, a side benefit of using foam for sidewalks or places where people stand. You can't use CA glue, or I wouldn't recommend CA glue on foam, simply because it'll eat it away. I didn't have that issue, or haven't had that issue, because the paint has sealed it. Okay, but if you're pushing down and you're using CA and you get through that, if a paint level cracks, it could allow that thin CA out and deteriorate. So be careful with that. All right. So what am I going to finish today with? Well, I have some fine sanding to do on the portions that I did yesterday. All right. I'll get that done so that either maybe late today, but probably tomorrow morning, I can do the fine touch-up work on the smooth that I did today. And once that's done, then I can come in and paint. Okay? Once it's painted, then I can add the people, and that's what this section of tip of the day is about: adding people. Okay? So we hopefully can get that finished up and are ready to go. All right. Before it's due to be out, which is today is Wednesday. It's due out next Tuesday. All right. The good news is the one after this is substantially complete already. So here we are, almost done with the PP, which is turned in to PP and P. All right. People, painting, and pavement. Okay. As you see, we've now embedded the track in the pavement, and we've got the other railings came in, so I was able to finish this off. We've done some weathering between the tracks. This section down here, the pavement back here, there, still needs to be weathered a little bit with a very light black ink wash. But for now, I got it cleaned up, and the trolley's running, and you can see where we're at. Now, our next tip of the day will cover Union Station itself, right, which simply fits right into place. And as you set it down into place, it automatically plugs in. But we'll save that for later. Right. So we still have a little weathering here to do, and here. But this scene is substantially done. We've got currently about 250 figures on this scene between Union Station itself, down on the platforms, and actually underneath on the platforms, because when we do cab rides through Union Station, we want to be able to see the people, of course. But there's still about 200, maybe even 300 more people to go in this whole scene as we finish the back scene buildings. And down on the other end, the L platform, we'll have the glass canopies over the platforms, and of course the main Chicago post office at the other end. And many more vehicles. You know, we want to depict the hustle and bustle of the city of Chicago here. With that, we're wrapping up this tip of the day for the Retirement Railroad, matinee modeling, of course. I'm Steve, and y'all have a great day. Bye now.